Hey friends, I am Miss Katie, and today I want to show you something, excuse me, a lot of editing coughs out. Today I want to show you something that is different, but it was requested and it's been on my mind before it was even requested by a friend of mine, but that is, how long does it even take you to make a video? Well, before we go any further, let me slide this introduction in here and give you a chance to hit subscribe and ring the little bell, because that is how you're going to know when we upload videos about home, heritage, and hope. All right, well, today we're not going to cook anything. Actually, we are going to chop a vegetable. Technically, it's a fruit. But anyway, we are going to chop a food. But that is just part of how I make videos. Now, I chose to do this a short one. And so you can imagine that longer videos, if you have a 20-minute video or a 30-minute or 40-minute or however long you have it, you can just multiply or imagine how much longer that takes. By the way, I'm not editing this video because the whole point is trying to help you to see, those of you who are interested in how long it takes to make a video. I do a lot of coughing and editing of that. A lot of times I have to turn the camera on or off for different reasons. But today I'm going to try to include as much as I can and be as real with you as I can about how long it takes. Well, this came about because a friend of mine, dear friend of mine, said to me, she was watching another video and she said, oh, that person, it was another channel, and she said it was just lovely, and I agree because I recommended the channel to her, or she did to me, or whatever. Anyway, excuse me, but it was more of a relaxing type video, and this lady's got hundreds of thousands of views and viewers and so forth. Well, rightly so. Her channel is just absolutely lovely, and I'm not sharing it because I don't have permission to share, and I don't want to make assumptions about her channel or her work. So my friend was saying, oh, I just loved her video, it was so relaxing, but it was only like 6 minutes or whatever it was, 11 or whatever. And she said, I wish it were much longer. And I said, well, the thing is, I don't think folks understand how long it takes to make one video. And the more angles you have, like in that particular video, the lady was walking out in the snow, in the field, in the snow, and there were about 4 angles. And she was alone, seemingly. I don't know if she has people to help her film. But there are 2 things to think about that. Number one, if she has people to help her film, which she may or may not, I don't know. I suspect she doesn't, but that's just me. That's the feeling I get. But if she doesn't have people to help her film, just think she has to either, those people, if she does have people to help her film, then she's got all those people to manage and talk to and so forth and plan it out. And or they each have a camera, so all that has to be edited. Okay, well, is this camera still on? Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to go with this camera. See, that's another thing. This gets too hot after so many minutes and it has to cool down. I don't know if you can see my head, but we're going to try. So anyway, that lady would have to, if she has several people, if they have different cameras, there's all that editing that goes into taking everything off of those different cameras and putting it into the final product. And that is a lot of work. Or if she has nobody to help her with all those different angles, then she has to either have several cameras that are set up. And again, when she gets to the editing process, or whoever's editing, they have all that material. Or she has to move the camera each time. So my guess is probably she has more than one camera, so that means she's going to have a lot of material that she has to bring together to edit and make it all uniform, and in that case just glides beautifully in her final project. So there is that to think about, all the different angles all the time to stop and move a camera. Now in my case I only have this one, it's like a vlogging camera. I'm no technical expert at all. I don't even know what kind of camera I have or everything it can do. But, and then I've got my phone that I'm talking to right now. And that is what I have. We have the two filming lights over here. And for Project 54 last summer, Mr. Patient put in this light, which actually needs some filters. And he and John Boy built this, assembled this butcher block rolling table. So those are my main go-tos when I'm making a cooking video. Now, also remember, when a person is cooking, they have to stop the camera for hand washing after using meats and that sort of thing as well. Or in my case, when children come in, or the lawnmower outside starts, or the dishwasher's doing something weird. So there are all those reasons for a video being longer in production than it is the final project that you see. So right now, I think what I'm going to do is just show you this the video I did about chopping jalapeno poppers. And I will fast forward it, but I'm probably going to put what the real time is, and then we're going to see at the end how long does it take to make that final product video. Now what I don't have on film, because I forgot it, I'm not used to filming our preparations, is John Boy set up the lights for me. And you know, so there's the light setting up, there's the grocery shopping time, there's excuse me again, there's everything, the food prep time. And don't mean to sound strange and weird or personal, but I had to take a shower, well, or not, and get dressed and hair and makeup so that I feel like I look halfway presentable. So there's all of that involved, which I'm going to call, let's call it an hour. Let's call the food shopping, the food prep, Miss Katie prep, and John setting up the lights, if I had to put a time on just that. Not travel time to the grocery store. If we added that, we'd probably add another hour, because it takes me, 30 minutes or so to get to particular stores that I use. So 1 to 2 hours of what I'll call prep time. All right. To take your gloves off, you would just, okay, I need, how many jalapenos do I use? I need 2 more jalapenos, so let me do that. All right, so I need to I need to cut these before I can't turn the camera off, because I would be getting the oil on my camera, and I have to have these jalapenos cut for my recipe, and I've already used, this is my second pair of gloves with this video, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these 2, and that way I have everything I need for my video, and then I can turn off the camera after I've taken the gloves off. So that is that story. It is a process when making videos. A lot to think through. a lot that people don't think about, I think. We do it because we love it. Okay, so I am voiceovering this because we're looking at me uploading the material. Now, I'm not here to explain the whole video editing process or production process, just basically to get an idea of how long it takes to make pretty much a 10-minute video. And the video we're working with, which is chopping the jalapeno peppers, y'all, is a very simple one. If I had something more complicated, um, there are so many variables with this. So this is just a simplified idea um, of how long it takes to make a video. So what I personally do is to put the content. I have to put the content on my computer. So that means if I had, which right now with this one, I've got the SD card from the camera, and then I've got the material from the phone. So I have to get both of those onto my Mac, which I use iMovie primarily. I have Filmora, Wondershare, Filmora, but I just like iMovie. It's just it's just easy for me. And I have tricks and things I do over and over. Like you see, I use the same transitions a lot. So there's some things I've got down pat and I can kind of do almost blindfolded. And I know that doesn't shake things up a lot with different, it's kind of predictable. I realize that. But this is what I'm able to do with the life that I live and my knowledge of technology. So what we're doing right here is I'm just putting all the information on here. I'm labeling it and all that sort of thing. Now, the video, let's see, I made notes. Let me look at my notes. So I had about 15 minutes of content, 15 minutes of content, but the video itself of how to chop the jalapeno poppers was pretty much 20 minutes from start to finish as far as content, turning camera off and on, and that sort of thing. So once this is said and done right here, I will have had 20 minutes of editing the 15 minutes of content. So what I do is I have to go in here, and for starters, I just say up front, I know, okay, I coughed there and I need to edit that out, or I did this and that, and I know I can edit those parts out and cut those out before I watch it to begin with. All right, and then typically I have to, of course, I'm ejecting my SD card so that I can get my headphones in there, because typically I do this with headphones, and I'm taking advantage of the time that the kids are actually on piano lessons, and they're not going to need me right now. So again, I'm just cutting it up. The more content I have, for example, the video I'm making, talking to you, which is how long it takes to make a 10-minute video, is actually, it was over an hour of content. So this, we're looking at a video inside a video, or we're talking about a video inside of a video, and an hour's worth of content that I had to edit out and narrow down just so I can show you how long it takes to make a video. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, so the final edit of this video of how to chop jalapeno peppers was 10 minutes and 13 seconds. So I edit that out. It took about 20 minutes to edit that. Then I go back and I watch the final product. Now, I don't always do this, but I like to. There are times when I do not watch the final product. I just hope and pray I did it right the first couple of times. But I go back and watch so that I'll know that, everything's the way I want it. All right. When I'm editing the first time or two, I do make notes on a notepad or on my phone or whatever of where I need to put the iCards. And that's the little things if you're watching on the phone. I don't think it does this on a smart television, but if you're watching on a phone or a computer during a video, if somebody will point and say, hey, follow this card up here, well, that's called an iCard. And, or a card, I guess it's called a card. But, and it's where the viewer can click on that for more information or for further videos. So I go and make notes on, hey, at this point, say for example, on the jalapeno pepper video, at 7 minutes and 50 seconds, I wanted to put the jalapeno powder video in there. So I make notes about that so that I don't have to go back and do that later. So I'm doing that at the time that I'm watching and editing the video. So all in all, to set up this how to chop jalapeno peppers, which ended up being a 10-minute, 13-second, to me it's not a difficult video to edit. It's not one of my most challenging ones. Let's say it took an hour of prep time, which includes the shopping for the peppers or getting me ready for the video or John setting up the lights, just give or take an hour, more or less. Then the filming was about 20 minutes of that, and then 49 minutes total to edit, and that's everything from start to finish editing. I think I said something different a minute ago, but about 49 minutes total. Now, then I have to upload it. The way iMovie does it or Apple does it is I have to upload it to my device. Then I have to send it to YouTube. So that is not really something that I necessarily should count in the time that it takes. You can be the judge of that. But if you have good Wi-Fi, which I have pretty decent Wi-Fi where we are, there have been times where it was unreal. It took hours and hours and hours and hours to upload a 10-minute video. So I'm glad I don't have that stress anymore. All right. Well, it said that it was going to take 9 minutes or about 10 hours to upload, which is not true. I did time it for our purposes today, and it took 51 minutes. So that is just really a shot in the dark. That depends on a person's Wi-Fi speed, and even that fluctuates. So it took about 51 minutes to upload it to my computer. Then I have to take it to YouTube, send it to YouTube. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm getting it prepared. I'm showing you the screen of everything here and how I do that kind of quickly, or showing you quickly rather. And then I just choose it from the laptop, and then I go to select files, and then apparently I spend way too much time trying to figure out how to spell the plural of jalapeno, or the singular of jalapeno for that matter. And so I've spent way too much time trying to figure that out. So we're going to fast forward through that part. All right, so then I have to put the title in. Now, I'm going to say there are probably creators on here who may watch this and say, you are taking way yonder more trouble than you should, because you could get programs to help you, and you can do automatic descriptions, which I know I can. I'm in the process of figuring out what I want that to be now that the holidays are over, because I had one for the holidays. So I'm aware of how to do that. If you're a creator, what goes in this description box, that can be automatically uploaded, filled in, and I know all that. So I'm trying to do some new things with that. So I'm aware of that. You have to pick out your playlist you want it in, whether or not it's for children. Then you fill in the tags. See, these tags are automatically filled in for me. I just have to add tags like jalapenos, how to cut jalapenos, jalapeno peppers, just things like that. So I have to add those tags. And so yeah, so I do that. But there are some of the same ones that I use every time. I can go back and do this later, but why do it later when I've got time now? And then I go down to where the content was made, and I just put in the state where I live. I have to decide. Some of these are automatically decided because they're preset, that I've done in the past to make it faster. And whether or not I want, how I want the comments to be, which I want them to be the newest ones on the top. And then I go to add the cards that we've talked about previously. All right, the next step is to add the card or monetization, whether I want it to be monetized, yes or no. And then if I hit yes, I decide where I want the ads, when I want the ads, and that sort of thing. I have to let them know there is not any controversial content. And then I add my end screens and my cards. Cards are what we already talked about, where I go in there and I decide, I take time to put the cards where I want them in the video. So that can be advantageous if you put them in the right place. So I choose the cards and you add them each in there. So that has to be done, and there is an allowance for 5 cards in a video. Maybe since you know now that the creator actually takes some time and effort to add those cards that would be associated with the topic of the video, maybe that would inspire you or encourage you to visit those cards the next time you see them. All right, now that the cards are set, you can go in and add the end screens. That's the little pictures, boxes you see at the very end of the videos. And so then you just go on and it shows you that it's checking. You write what your visibility is, what you want it to be, whether it's public or, private or whatever. And then it's going to tell you how much time is left. This says it's 16 minutes remaining in the upload, but we're going to see how accurate that is because I'm timing it right now. All right, so now it took roughly 15 minutes to upload from the computer to YouTube. That does not mean it's all said and done. Now YouTube has to do its little thing behind the scenes, stuff I don't understand, the processing and all that kind of thing. They have to check and see if I have any music that might be a copyright violation. They have to check and see if I have children in the video. That might be a COPA violation. They do all kinds of things in the background. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right here behind you that I'm circling there, that is the channel dashboard. That is where the YouTuber works, does all their work. And I don't mind you seeing all of that. Now let's go over to content. And this is where all of my videos are, whether they're pending, whether they're not out yet, whether they're not scheduled to be out yet, whether they go directly to Patreon and not to the public, whatever. All the videos are right here. You see this is pending, so it is still not finished. All right, and you see I have not written my description yet, so that's going to take me, I don't know, less than 5 minutes. And that's where the description is where I will put everything you see in the show notes and description box. A lot of it is copy and pasted. And I also want to decide whether or not I want this in other playlists, which I probably will in the future. All right, so I have yet to add the description, but one thing I also forgot to include in this time frame is you have to go over and make a thumbnail. I do that on my phone. I use Typorama and Piz app for that, and I love those two. I know how to use them, and I like them, satisfied with them pretty much. So I do that all on my phone, and then see I'm refreshing it, and then bingo, there you go.
It is on my laptop right there, the thumbnail. And all I lack is adding the description. All right, as I was editing this video here, I totally forgot that I didn't include some things that are done as part of the process. And I think it's fair to include these things. So a creator typically, most or many creators, they are going to take time then to share their videos. I always share mine on Pinterest. We have a lot of pins on Pinterest. I go to create a post at some point and I share it there. And then I will copy and I will also share it on Patreon. So those folks have a one-stop shop over there on Patreon. They can just see everything there and not have to go to the YouTube channel. And then if you have a website, you share it over there. Sometimes some people do, or make a post about it, or even an email about it, a blog about it. Then also, many creators, this is something I don't do very well, or I don't do much of, but they go to Google Trends and they will type in the titles or the keywords to see how best to put a title on their video or how to tag it and that sort of thing. So that is something I need to work on more this year, but that also takes time. So if you want to take all that into consideration, the question remains, how long does it take for Miss Katie to make a 10-minute video that is not terribly complicated with all the angles from start to finish? This particular one, how to chop jalapeno peppers, took about 2 hours and 14 minutes. If you take into consideration doing the Google Trends and all the sharing and that kind of thing that creators really should be doing, or I should be doing more of, add an extra 30 minutes to an hour to produce a 10-minute video. So you can imagine if a video has more angles, if it's outside, if you have to move the camera more, if you have a more complicated recipe, that time frame is increased. So with that being said, I thank you for watching. I am very, very grateful when you watch a video because, folks, a lot of time and effort is put into videos by creators. Some creators are more capable or knowledgeable than others. I am very much on the low end of that totem pole, and I know that. But I, like many others, put in a lot of effort for you, and I want to thank you for giving us the time and the likes and the shares and the subscribes that you do, because it means so much. It's very rewarding to us when we get that appreciation shown for the work that we put into this. So thanks to my friend Leanne for asking this question, and I will see you next time, y'all. Be blessed and count your blessings.